you are and how you got to your present spot in your business.
I'm Natalie.
Introduction.
Yeah. I started in 2020 waxing. I got my license in 2020. I started in July of 2020, esthetician school. I don't know if you guys know that. I
Esthetician
started
school? Okay.
I was working at a bar and restaurant until then with both my brothers.
Oh, cute.
Yeah, and my brother's fiance. I worked there, and then I was like, can't do this anymore.
Can't do it.
I'm at my wit's end. I was a makeup artist for literally 5 minutes. I did like weddings. And then I was like, no, I just don't even want to do their face. I just want to do their brows.
I love that. That's so real.
Yeah. I was like, this is miserable and I hate it.
I forgot this is brow related.
So I went to esthetician school starting in July. Because obviously that's perfect to go during a pandemic to esthetician school. While in school, I learned a lot about what I actually wanted to do. And I did some brows. I did some facials. I said, ooh, yeah, no.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah, no. And then we did like a Brazilian day. Because I remember sitting in the car before my first day. And I was talking to my mom and I was like, I am not doing body waxing. It's disgusting. That's insane. And we were like, yeah, ew, hell no. And then obviously I did my first Brazilian. I said, that's the most fun I've ever had. That was so fun. Love the mapping. I love the like satisfaction of like, there's hair and then there's not.
Yeah. So you guys actually physically did Brazilians in beauty school?
One.
Okay, we did none.
Yeah.
Not even a bikini line, not even a Brazilian,
wow.
None of that.
Who knows where you would be
right?
if you did Brazilians.
I definitely did continuing education Brazilians and did not. But in actual physical beauty school, I think we had one day of her doing demos and stuff, and then we were just like thrown in, and like they didn't do any other education or have us do.
Did you?
Any training?
Well, I'm a cosmetologist. We did minimal waxing.
Yeah.
No, I think we did maybe like arms or legs or something, and definitely did eyebrows, which I wouldn't let anybody touch my brows. And I ended up doing, all the boys would come to me and get their brows done in school.
Oh, that's kind of interesting.
I know. I don't know why, because I didn't have any interest yet in brows. Yeah. But yeah, people would come to me for brows.
Yeah.
I didn't let anybody do my brows either. I did one man's brows who I think his wife was coming into the beauty school to get her hair done. And he was like there, and she was like, go get your brows done. And that was the only reason he came in.
Yeah.
And I think I did like 3 body parts total for my entire beauty school experience as far as waxing goes. And I was an esthetician. Like an aesthetic school.
But same. I remember we did waxing for literally 2 days. I remember us doing a Zoom class with the instructor.
Oh, because you're mid-COVID.
I'm mid-COVID.
Okay.
So we did a
Zoom
I was like, class.
Zoom.
Most of it was Zoom. So we did a class and she did her son's brows on the Zoom. And that was pretty much it. And then I finished school. I took the owner of Enzo. I took her wax Brazilian class. It was like a master class.
The waxing guide, I think?
Yes, the waxing guide. And that was like the only reason I knew any Brazilian training.
Yeah, we did continuing education in the form of the owner of the business that I worked at knew how to do them and just like demos, and she just like talked us through it. And I remember finishing the demo being like, yeah, I got this. And then I did my first one on a client and I left crying and didn't pay. And I called the owner and I was like, I'm never doing that again. Please never book me. I'm done.
I'm actually screaming because it can be literally traumatizing for the waxer if they don't know what they're doing.
Like, I was actually really happy that the person getting the wax had experience getting Brazilians. She was like, it's
she was
okay.
more experienced than you.
Yes. She was like, it's okay. And don't worry about it. Like,
actually screaming. That's literally so funny.
So that's why I don't do body waxing.
I remember in school we did one. We did a like. At the end of school, they did like a waxathon where we were raising money for like breast cancer research or something. And you basically signed up to get hours, which I never missed school. So I don't know why I needed hours.
I missed school enough that I did have to do those like random.
Yeah.
But it was nothing. We could literally just sit at the school and study our textbooks and that qualified.
Oh, really? No, they were strict. They were like making us like do backflips, I feel like. But yeah,
I
we did
also
a
went to Marinello
wax-a-thon.
and they stole money from students.
That's crazy.
My school experience was
I went to
not
Paul
good.
Mitchell in Sac, Arden.
Okay, so I did cosmetology school, and I went in 2006. I went to Elite here in Stockton, and then I was a beauty school dropout.
Really?
I did. I quit at
Tea.
1,000.
You guys, that's
actually
tea. That's new information. This person, Otilia, is actually a beauty school dropout.
I was at
Breaking news.
1,100 hours, and the whole thing was just it was
It was a perfect storm for you to discontinue.
yeah, I had a lot of personal stuff going on.
Yeah.
I was actually coming out. I was like, everything was just life was feeling messy, and it just wasn't working for me. So I quit. And then I was having this whole crisis of what the fuck am I going to do now? I don't know. And then I worked at Starbucks for a couple of years, and my wife and I started seeing each other. So I ended up going back to school in 2009, I think. Yeah, it must have been 2009. That was actually awesome. I really lucked out, and they let me come in at 1,000 hours. I came back and finished my 600 hours.
That's cool.
Yeah. And so I think it was like 3 months. I can't remember how many months it was, but it was a few months. I didn't pass my state board the first time.
Really?
Yes. Well, that was
I feel like that's so common.
it is. And the practical was, I was just a nervous wreck. I passed my written like nothing. But yeah, and then I went back and did it again, and I felt all like embarrassed about that and whatever. Now it's how many years now? Like 15 years later. But then my intention was to do hair, and I did hair, like friends' hair, whatever. And
my uncle's hair.
I did your uncle's hair in my kitchen. Yes, I cut his hair. And then I was working at Ulta. I opened the Ulta here in Stockton, and
My favorite Ulta.
is that your favorite?
Yeah.
Oh,
Me and my grandma go when we go to Home Goods.
That's adorbs. It's not my favorite Ulta, but
No, I
other
would
reasons.
assume not. I don't because
That's
it's
all.
fully
But you know
stocked
what?
all the time. I love it
That's
for
great.
that.
That's great. I will give it credit where credit's due. Is learned so much working at the Benefit Brow Bar, but I had intended on doing hair moving into the salon. One of my old cosmetology school teachers was the manager of the salon at that time and wanted to bring me in, but she was like, we're fully staffed. Why don't you just get a job in the prestige department and help with makeup and this and that? And I was doing makeup at that time, so it was kind of perfect. And then somebody left the lead arch expert position within a few months of them opening, and they were like, Otilia, go arch expert.
Yeah, that's sick.
Isn't it cute? And they were like, you should do that. And I said, no, I don't do eyebrows. And they were like, well, you'll get full-time hours guaranteed, and you'd get better pay. You'd be using your license, and then you can move into the salon whenever something opens up. And so I did it. And then I fell in love with eyebrows, and me and brows just been like this ever since,
So interesting. When I was in beauty school, we got Benefit gifted the school brow books. So like Benefit has their own little brow book or whatever.
Benefit low-key kind of slaps at marketing.
Yes, they do.
For sure.
I think they're like, do you remember I don't know if they're still around, but there's the product line, The Bomb.
Yeah.
But they're like super cutesy. I always confuse
They're
the
at
two of those
Kohl's.
'cause they're so freaking cute.
They're at Kohl's. I loved them when I was in
them.
high school.
But I remember getting the Benefit book, and it's so funny because when I went to beauty school, I wanted to do skincare. I wanted to be a facialist. But when I got out, I was like, there was 2 jobs that I was hoping to get. And because when you're fresh out, you're like, I have no idea what I'm doing. And so I wanted to either work at the Massage Envy, because I'm in a really, really small town. And I wanted to work at Massage Envy as an esthetician or Ulta. But it would have been a drive.
Dream. Right. I wanted to work at Massage Envy so bad.
Or a brow artist at Ulta.
I wanted to work at Ulta.
The Ulta was in Roseville. We didn't get an Ulta until a few years ago. We didn't even have one. Well, neither of those things happened.
My dream, but look at you now. Well, my dream job in 5th grade was to work at Ethan Allen. Until high school, I think was to work at Ethan Allen. That was where I stopped dreaming.
Okay, so how was the transition being in beauty school during COVID to getting out and starting?
It was literally horrible. I didn't really know what to do at all. I signed up for a lot of those little like at the school. Oh, I'm going to do like that browathon. I did brows for literally all day. Never had done brows. Am I allowed to cuss? Everybody went home looking like a fucking clown.
Were you just
but they were like
waxing them, or were you filling them in?
No, I was just
okay.
I was just raw dog waxing them. We didn't have any string or anything. And so
Yeah,
I was like, what? Okay, here you go. And they
Here you
looked
go.
horrible. But I feel like so I started working at a wax bar in Midtown immediately. I literally finished school. I was like, guys, my business is going to be called R.I.P WAX in a couple years. Don't steal my name. I told everyone at school, don't steal my name.
You're just telling everyone
Verbal
the name.
trademark. So everybody knew. Don't know why I did that. I think I just thought it was good and I wasn't going to use it.
Really?
But I don't know. You just think things. I was like, that's kind of good.
I would have been like, here's my URL. Here's my
yeah. I didn't even make an Instagram for it.
You're like just telling people.
I was just telling everyone at school, hey, don't take it. I finished school. Before I had finished school, I was already looking for front desk jobs at like a wax salon.
I literally worked a front desk at Massage
Yeah.
Envy and did not get the job once I graduated. I studied for state board at Massage Envy and still did not work there post school.
I was I was a salon receptionist for several years before even getting licensed. I did before even going to school, I did front desk salon jobs, but that was like in other states that I lived in and stuff.
But did you your schooling was in California?
Sure. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it was. Yeah. But I lived in Seattle and I was the receptionist and manager or assistant manager at a Supercuts for like 2 years.
I feel like that's such a good way to get your shit together.
I agree.
I got a job at Sleek in Midtown. I cherish Sleek. Shout out Sleek. Kissy smoochies. I loved working there and I applied there on Indeed to be front desk. I got an interview and then they never called me. And then I was like, cool, there goes my dreams. And guess I'm going to have to go work at Ethan Allen. I did not get a call and I was pissed. And then I get a call one day and she's like, so did you want to work here? And I was like, yeah, I really did. And she's like, you never responded to us. They emailed me and I didn't see it.
Were you like a person who doesn't check their email?
No, I do. I don't know what happened.
Oh.
So yeah, I did get the job there weirdly somehow. I did show up to my interview in a leopard long fur coat. What the frick?
Why is this
what
so
the hell? What the hell? I think about my outfit choice and I'm like,
oh, that's
what the hell? Yeah, I was front desk there because I graduated in October. My fucking test wasn't until May.
So you were
of
working
the following year because of COVID. So I graduated in October and my test wasn't until May of the following year.
That would stress me out so badly.
She had me scheduled with clients the next day after my test for training.
Passing or not.
She's like, you better pass or we're going to have to cancel all your clients. I'm like, sick. Cool.
But you were just working front desk for a little bit while you were, okay.
Yeah. But I learned so much.
What were your first clients after your pass?
Full body, head to toe, because that's how they train there. She trains you so good and she gets you so in it. Like, this day we're doing manzillions. This way we're doing Brazilians. We're doing brows. We're doing legs. We're doing everything.
I love an owner that actually trains well.
I literally knew everything. But it's so funny because I was like doing 45-minute Brazilians. Oh, I'll never learn how to do a faster Brazilian in my life. Now I do a Brazilian in like 11 minutes.
I love that. We're definitely going to talk about that.
Yeah, but that's it. I started working Sleek and then 2 years into Sleek, I was like, I think I'm ready to open that thing I was talking about in school. And then I did it. So.
And here you are.
Here she is.
So while we were talking about beauty school, what is a horror story or what like totally damaged you from beauty school? That's what I wanted to know.
Well, it was during COVID.
Aside from COVID.
Literally the whole thing. I literally had no idea what to do when I left. We weren't allowed to touch each other for a while or do each other's brows at all or do facials. Crazy. We had to do our own facials. We would literally wash our face. We would literally wash our face.
Oh my God. I had a student recently who was like, do you want to bring like a model? Because sometimes like I've taken models to trainings because it makes you feel like
yeah.
And she was like, no, I have to get used to dealing with strangers.
I agree with that.
I love that honesty though, because that's that's why I asked you what your first appointments were post school or like getting your license, because that was
appointments. Yeah.
That was the scariest
part.
Yeah. We did random walk-ins because I kind of had a similar thing where I went to school and then I bebopped around for a while, not doing anything with my license. Well, that's not true. I went out on my own right out of school, but I just erased that from my memory because it was not good. Total failure, lots of debt. But after that,
Hey, if you don't have lots of debt, are you even a business owner?
I came to that realization more recently. I was like, no, this is fine. This is fine. Now that the business is doing well, we can take care of that.
Who freaking cares?
And I was trying it was just so weird getting back into like the feel of like touching people and like having to work in that way. And I remember during my interview I worked at a small business in Chico called Powder Room. And one of the reasons she said I got the job was I had to do her brows. I had told her
Oh,
I
I would
had no
actually
idea what
not
I
do
was
it and I would
doing.
leave.
I was like, okay, cool. You're the owner and I have to do your eyebrows for my interview. And her wife, who wasn't licensed but was her business partner, watched. She's just standing there as I'm doing her brows. It was so scary. But at this stage of my career,
No,
I had
that's
less
normal. Like, I guess
anxiety.
people do that for like when they hire people, they're like, oh, give me a facial.
Yes, I did that. And part of my interview was giving his wife a facial. It was so scary.
Oh my
It was scary.
God.
And he was like, also, you're going to do microdermabrasion. I was done with school before that was a requirement in school. So I've
So
never
you didn't
touched,
do it?
never had done touch the machine. I definitely did in that interview. I was like, hard pass. Like, I will not be doing that. I will give her a regular facial that I am comfortable doing, but I'm not giving your wife microdermabrasion when I have no idea what I'm doing. That's not happening.
No, that's actually horrible.
Yeah, but one of the reasons that I got the job for Powder Room was because I like turned her face while doing the eyebrow appointment. And she was like, all of our other candidates have been too afraid to actually touch me. I was like, how are you doing some of these eyebrows without like adjusting them how you need them to be? Like,
They're all going around them.
right? I'm like,
No, for real.
I'm like, how
You're
are
like,
you guys
okay,
doing
this side looks bad, but it's because I didn't look at that side. I couldn't see it.
To be honest, I think that's how I start. Like, I know I was like so terrified to do brows. I definitely was like punching my body and contorting myself, which you still do, but like not as much now. Now I have
so
no
curious
shame.
to hear all your story because you have
Like
so
what?
much more. You have so much story. I've been in the industry since 2020.
And then how long have you?
It'll be 15 years in September.
Okay.
Yeah, you have like 10 years on me.
I mean, you know, building a clientele at the Benefit Brow Bar in the very beginning, having conversations, helping them with makeup and be like, oh, by the way, I do brows. We do wax here. Like, I definitely had to have the personality to go up to them and start chatting with them and pull them off the floor and, you know, and have them sit in my chair and I would show them, I'd fill in their brows and be like, look what they could look like. And that was a whole experience, you know, because you're like far more public facing because it's a store and you're in the middle of it. And I mean, I had some really wild lady one time come up and throw her foot on the counter and tell me to wax her toes. Yeah. You know,
this is why I freaking asked.
I mean, it's funny because I feel like now I don't even remember all of them. They're all
get your foot off my counter.
Yes.
I'll
I had
knock
just
you
cleaned
out.
it. I would be mid client and then, you know, we would be short staffed and some customers would ask me questions and I get hyper focused and I have a hard time like pulling myself out, putting myself back in. And that was hard because then people thought, you know, like I was a bitch and like, oh, that girl didn't want to help me. And I'm like, no, I'm just trying to do some brows, you know, but yeah, it was.
The powder room that I worked at was very, very similar because we didn't have an Ulta, right? When I was started in there, we were the makeup boutique downtown and we had a brow bar. We had like
front.
It was actually behind. So the whole makeup display was in the front and then there was like a little like split screen kind of thing and we were back there and they had like 4 stations for us to do brows, but it was the same thing. And thankfully eventually there was always like a front desk girl, but like if we weren't busy we were expected to go up and talk to people. And for certain elements it was nice because we would get commission for like our sales and stuff, cool. But at the same time I would rather be booked. One of the reasons I quit working there and went out on my own was because I would get my brow shifts taken because I needed to cover the front desk. And I was like, I know what I'm doing. Because when we were starting out, you know, if you weren't established, you would work a few days with your clients and then you'd like work the front desk, like just so that we were making enough money and we weren't like only expected to earn when we were booked. You still had an opportunity to like earn money and I didn't have to have a part-time job. Like my part-time job was working the front desk essentially. But yeah, I was super angry when I was established and really booked out and they were like, oh, sorry, you can't work that day. You have to work the front desk. And I'm like just sitting like hoping somebody
actually I'm not.
I was like, yeah, actually I quit.
Yeah, I think at Ulta, if I remember correctly, there was like in the very beginning, because I was like cashier trained, they would want to pull me. I'm like, no. Also, at this point, I'm making more than your cashiers. That just seems wrong. It just was, yeah. But it was 4 years of that. And by, I would say maybe like at the end of year 1, I was pretty booked. And I think a lot of it was because we were the only brow bar and brows were just starting to become what they were. They were just starting to explode. Like Instagram hadn't even really happened yet. The Anastasia, when I first started working there, that section was this tiny
Bring
little
up
end cap.
Anastasia. Yeah.
And then within like a year, it was just like, all the brow products. And it was really cool to watch eyebrows blow up the way that they did. I was so proud. And at first it was like, like you meet people and you're like, what do you do? And I'm all eyebrows. And they'd be like, well,
yeah,
and
for fun.
Yeah. And then it turned into like, I do brows. I'm a brow artist.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Like, don't look at my eyebrows. They look terrible.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, it was really fun to watch eyebrows grow, like just boom, just grow and become this like thing that people like realize, hello, brows are real important. And then our brow bar, over the years it was always me and one other person. And there was some turnover sometimes in that position. But overall, within the district, my store, we were like I was the top producing arch expert in the district. We were like, our retail numbers were super high. Which is probably why I'm now like hate selling to people, because I did it for so many years and I like felt like I had to. And now I'm like,
traumatizing.
Yeah. I just don't want to put things in people's hand unless I think they really need it. And I mean, that's why I only carry things that I like would use myself. But
I know.
Yeah, it's I'm glad to not be in like a retail. I haven't been I left after 4 years. It's been over 10 years that I've been gone. Almost over 10 years. Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like kind of similar. I forget. I worked at Nordstrom in 2016. I was in handbags and sunglasses. So it was right next to the makeup and the beauty and the brow bar. And I would go get my brows done. And I was like, I just wish I did brows. They look so fun. And that was in that was before.
You did have a little bit
So I had like eyes on the Anastasia brow bar. She would do my brows, Morgan, and I would be like, oh my God.
I remember being young and going to MAC, like the counter, and being like, this would be such a fun job, which is really funny because then later on I worked with a girl at Powder Room who worked at MAC. Well, it wasn't necessarily that she hated the job. It was just like their crazy corporate requirements of just having to look like this and dress like this.
And then people at 12 would go in and be like, can you do my makeup full face beat?
Oh my God,
full
I think
face
I left
beat for free.
That's what I did. I think I left with like bright blue
I'm like, can we do a full beat real quick? I have no money. I'm just my mom dropped me off.
I remember collecting the little individual eyeshadows that they had.
No, I remember going in there and saying, what's the cheapest thing you got? I want to buy something. $10 is burning a hole in my pocket.
I don't think there's
I need a full $10. I need a full
Pretty sure the eyeshadows were $12.
Yeah. I need a full glam beat down for 10.
Oh my God.
So we can make that work.
Okay. What are your top industry icks?
I think brands selling out and selling on Amazon. Not going to name any names. Just kidding. No, I think that's fair. I think it's like kind of how things progress. But I think my top industry ick is us getting treated like waxers and brow artists are treated different than hairstylists. Mm-hmm. Like we're playing house or playing like,
I agree.
Like business.
I think I think hair has had its dominance in the industry for a lot longer than anything else. I think even back when they were doing it all, hairstylists were doing brows and they were doing all the things. They were just it, kind of. And then I feel like the skincare world has its hooks kind of in the med spa world. They get automatically, because there's doctors practicing it, I think they get to be put in their own category. And ours seems to fall under like makeup, dressing up, playing house kind of a thing.
I feel like when you look at where hairstylists can work, like they can go work at a salon and rent a chair. Renting a chair as like a brow artist is not really a thing.
That's literally why I struggled leaving Ulta. I always say that I was there 2 years longer than I wanted to be because there was nowhere for me. And
you could go work at European Wax Center. That's it.
I think back then, no. Yeah. I ended up really lucking out. The salon that I was at before here, the owner had this like vision of having all these specialty artists or, hairstylists, like people who were like really niche down. And so she had heard about me and reached out and was like, hey, have you ever thought about leaving Ulta? And I was like, yeah. Ended up being incredible. I was there for 8 or 9 years. But yeah, I used to always say like there wasn't just a chair that I could go rent somewhere or whatever. I think it has changed so much now. The suites have blown up and there's more rooms. Like there is definitely more flexibility now as like wherever you want to niche down and specialize. But I get what you're saying. Like,
if you find a spot or like a employment job as a waxer, they're like, how's minimum fucking wage?
Yeah.
How's $15 sound when you're making me $375 an hour?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think that it's like less respected and less taken seriously, which is so sad. And like when you tell people, well, and mostly when I started, brows wasn't like my number one service.
Sure.
It was Brazilians. And I do Brazilians all day. People are like, oh, you just wax vaginas and butts all day? Okay, cool. Is that all you do? Like, do you work anywhere else? Like,
I've never understood the question because it's just like, when have people ever been like, do you work at Domino's? What else do you do? Like, I just feel like those, even if that is a job that is standard, a college student job, or like they are automatically
no, and
nobody's asking them that question.
No.
Nobody's casually just being like, what else is on your plate? Like, I just feel like it's like the corporate, when are you gonna have kids? Is that gonna affect your business? That's what it feels like to me. It feels like it falls under that same kind of sexist, like, why does my industry or my job or whatever, like, and I think it also has to do with, oh, you guys make all of the money, we shouldn't tip you, like not understanding business structure, and like our job looks so fun that we don't have to pay for anything, kind of a thing. I think it's all under the umbrella of not understanding the industry
or taking it seriously.
Yes. And I think there's a lot of not taking us seriously.
And some clients don't get it, and some people don't get it that aren't even clients.
Babe, listen, you are too good to still be turning away threading clients because you don't know how. My hand-time threading will literally change your beauty menu and your bank account. I break it down step by step, show you exactly how to make every client obsessed with their brows, and give you a skill that'll keep your schedule full. You don't need to wait another year to feel confident. You just need to start. Links in the show notes. Let's go.
Like, I had a client when I first started. When I worked at the Suites in Rockland. They were like, oh, I'm here. And they were at European Wax Center, like down the street. And I was like, sister, you're not here. You're there. People really don't know or get it.
I think, hair, like you said, hairstylists have like that was like the licensed profession for a really long time, and they did a lot of the services, and now like that niching down, specializing it's newer. I mean, it's, and we're seeing more and more of it, so I think that's amazing. But I think because of that, it's still a baby, and so
that's a good point.
And people are still kind of wrapping their heads around, like, not asking somebody who does this, like, well, what's your real job? Because I know we've all been asked that.
The difference between you, like, you saw all this happen. I started at a time where you're niched and then you widen. Like, you're niched first.
That's interesting.
You know what I mean?
So interesting.
Like, all of the girls that I know that do brows in the towns that I've worked, because I've worked in so many different locations, they all started doing brows and then they added something. It wasn't like we do everything and then, so
that's really
now I feel like it's so opposite than
I've always said that I feel like niching too early, because I'm a big fan of picking a specialty and sticking to it, because I do feel like the whole jack of all trades is an expert of none kind of a situation where I just feel like if you spread yourself too thin, you really can't become an expert at any one thing. But I also feel like niching too early kind of pigeonholes you.
Yeah.
Because I feel like clients get confused and you have zero trust. There's no trust at the beginning. So I feel like, I don't know, like I did skincare and brows, even though I had an established
experiment a little bit.
Yes. I had an established brow clientele, but I wanted to do skincare. And it was funny that once I did, because brows are interesting. I feel like we've all had a batted brow experience. There is a level of, there's less so now. I would say earlier in the industry, people gave more trust to that because they were like, oh, whatever, I've had it wax off before.
100%.
And they didn't care, but skincare was harder.
People need more trust in their brows than they do a Brazilian. People will do a Brazilian with just about anybody on the back of a nail salon.
Well, people are walking around with pants on.
Yeah.
They don't have anything covering the brows.
It's true. I think the face.
They're like, you know how to do Brazilian? Okay, let's go. Perfect.
That's so funny.
It cracks me up because I'll have clients, even when I moved here, when I was in my last place, they're like, oh, well, are you going to start doing Brazilians? And I'm like, you guys see my windows. And I'm like, what do you, maybe they didn't, I think that they didn't, like, it's like they didn't wrap their head around, they're like, oh, she doesn't work for a corporate place anymore. She can do more services. But I'm like, yeah, certainly
this
not.
This is not a location that you can.
No.
There's no making it private.
No, yeah. I know. There's a lot of windows.
We're in a birdhouse. We're in a greenhouse.
The perfect place for brows.
Mine is, but I'm 3 stories up and I have privacy film everywhere.
Yeah, that's
but it's
nice.
like,
yeah,
it's not.
Yeah.
We're looking at people walking down the street.
Yeah. It kind of piggybacks off of yours a little bit, because I think it is so new. Shouldn't say new, but having there be more specializing, more, I think, and we're seeing like this huge increase of new people, which I love that. I don't like, and I think this is like me being like an old lady, like like 15 years in, but I don't like how much lack of professionalism that I see.
Yeah, I feel like you give us like a perspective of shit that I don't know shit.
Well,
like,
that's sweet. I mean, we're all still like, I like to think I do, but
well,
we don't all know it all. Yeah, sure. But yeah, that's where I sometimes, and I think too, I have to remind myself, we've had this conversation, Megs, where it's not always for me, right? Like that person I'm not their audience. I'm not their client. And maybe that is who they're looking for, who they're reaching. And that's fine. But sometimes I'm like, because I want us to be taken seriously.
Yeah.
And that's really the bottom line.
So what do you mean?
Well,
it's just in.
We've all seen like certain like posts or just like verbiage that's used online.
100%.
Also, just like in policies, being like having too many policies where you're literally just shutting everybody out, or wording things in a way in your policies that again
it's a turn off. Yeah.
And that doesn't feel professional.
One of the big things that I think you're trying to get across to is like the problem is that when we were starting out, social media wasn't as much of a thing. So people weren't seeing everything. We have clients that have a higher level of education because they have access to all of people educating, and B, they see all of these different things where there's no universal standard because all of the states are different.
Right.
I feel like we see stuff online where we're like, oh, they're doing that, they shouldn't be doing that. But the clients don't know that different states require different things. They're like threading, as much as I would love for it to look super professional, it's not regulated. There's a lot of people that turn their nose down to it because they think, oh, it's an unregulated thing. It's not super professional. And I think there's a level of professionalism that attaches to doing things the appropriate way. But I think that if the world really knew how poorly structured state board really kind of is, and it's not really that great about checking it, and like there's no checks and balances for it. We go and get our tests. They come in and periodically check in. I personally have been in the industry for 10 years. I've never met a single state board person. I've always worked within a studio. I've always worked within a salon, but I've never met a single state board person. So I just feel like there's a lot of that.
Let me just tell you right now, it's terrifying.
Yes, I remember the first.
I was fine. I did everything right, but it was still like.
I remember the two first.
What do I do? Do I keep? I literally was with the client. Do I keep going? What do I do? Am I supposed to talk to you? Like I'm on a time schedule here, but like I feel like I should stop everything for you. Yeah,
I would have.
It's scary.
Oh, the first 2 years, I felt like I was gonna go to jail or something. I was so scared about it. But it's really funny looking back now. I'm just like, wow, I wish there was more.
Yeah.
Like I just wish that there was more checking in. And I think that that's part of the reason that there's such a wide variation of people that are really skilled and really talented doing things improperly, or really skilled, really talented doing things properly. And then we have really not talented doing things properly, maybe, and then not talented not doing things properly. Like I just feel like there's a sliding scale of just how different everybody is. Yeah. So I agree with you. I think there's a reason that we aren't looked at as professional as we would like, because there's just no universal thing.
Well, and at the end of the day, no matter where you fall in that scale, there's going to be clients for you.
Yeah.
So it's fine. It's just, and I will say for me personally, it's like
I really feel that. I feel I see people where I'm like, you freak me out. And I feel like I'm not allowed to come to you.
With the policy thing.
Yeah. I feel like specifically with Brazilians, because I do Brazilians, I notice the things that clients come to me and say about other people. And they're like, yeah, I had a Brazilian waxer, but then she made a TikTok about how gross her clients were.
See, that's
so I didn't want to come to her anymore.
Yeah.
Sorry. This is a direct statement.
You know who you are.
If you are paying me $72 to do a Brazilian and you fart, it's okay.
We are not going to talk shit about you. I hate
that.
I
don't care. I don't care. I don't care.
I know. I always like when I have clients fall asleep and they snore a little bit, and they're like, "I'm so sorry." I'm like, "Oh my gosh, he literally come as you are, be who you are. This is your time. Your time. I'm not gonna judge.
Who cares? You're my boss right now. Like, fine. Yeah. I'm not going to make fun of you. I'm not going to talk about it after you leave. You look great.
Yeah. As long as you respect my boundaries, I'm gonna just be totally. You can do exactly what you need to do.
Yeah, like.
I can't stand the bullying that happens in the industry.
Weird.
And I feel like I'm just going to go ahead and point it out. I feel like I see a lot of it in the lash tech world. I think that's where I saw it pop up the most, is like the clean lash thing. And yelling at them or charging a fee to clean them or all of these things. And I find it, I'm not singling any one lasher out. It's just an industry, a portion of the industry that I saw it most frequently. But I cannot stand bullying a clientele of any kind. And even to the point of your difficult client, I don't care.
Yeah.
Like, either fire them as a client, or like, you just cannot belittle people. And like you just said, that like they're your boss. They are your boss for that moment that they're in the chair. They're paying you for something that you should be delivering on. And I just don't think that it's okay to be talking to people a certain way. You can have the most insane policy ever and still deliver it in a kind manner. It does not need to be yelled at or like verbally abusive. I swear. It's just like, that's probably my biggest ick in the industry, is seeing other people treat human beings in that way, all for the sake of being on their business. Or I'm just here, I'm a business professional, I'm a professional, this is how this is. It's like, you're being rude. Like, climbing that professionalism hat does not make what you're saying any better or nicer or anything. Like, it doesn't get your point across any better either.
Yeah, like saying something in a mean way, because like I don't really know how that would end well. When does that end well? Being rude to a client, they can tell all their friends that you were rude to them. I'm very straightforward with my clients, and that's why they keep coming back.
I was going to say, there's a huge difference between belittling and bullying and being transparent, because I'm also super transparent and my clients love that.
Yes, transparency is everything. Communication is everything in this industry. We are in the people business. We are service providers. We are here to make them feel better, right? Having clear communication, and you can have that with kindness. You can have that, you can be direct with kindness, you know? Like, there's definitely been times where, like, say maybe a client wants something and I'm like, okay, you probably can't do that or whatever, right?
Yeah.
I don't have to say that meanly. You know, and there's no reason for that.
And I think there's also like their problem solution. Like, even if you can't have this, let's give you this. Like, there's a way to deliver these things in a kind manner. And it's in a way that you're still being helpful too. You're not like, oh, you have to leave, I can't do anything for you. Or like, you have 4 hairs, sorry, I can't do your brows. And then it's funny, because on the flip side, I think all of us also get those clients. They come in and they go, my last girl said this, my last girl did this, or my last person did that, or said this, or had this policy, or turned me away, or didn't like this. And it's just so sad. And I feel for those people, because I feel bad for them. I've just never understood that portion of the industry.
I agree.
Okay, what is your brow celeb icon?
Honestly, pretty much everybody who gets their brows done with Kelly Baker, I always love her. Their brows are always, they're always so beautiful. I'm really bad with the names.
Yeah, I know. I literally am trying to think of
what is
people's
that
names.
actress, the one who she was like in the Labyrinth? Is it Lily Tomlin or
Are we doing someone whose brows we like, or somebody brow artist?
A celebrity's brows.
Lily Collins, that's who you're talking about.
Yeah, her brows are fire.
I've used her for years in my education.
Oh, I love that. Yeah. But no, that's not the girl I'm thinking of, though.
Oh,
but she does have really, see, that's wrong. So it's a different actress. But look up the Labyrinth. Wow. Yes. And now I feel like a jerk that I can't think of her name right now. But yes, but she looks like she could play her daughter, Lily Collins.
I know.
Yes. But they could be like mother-daughter and something. They really could. There is
who's that model? She's got like big.
Yes. What's her name?
Jennifer
Conley. See?
Really close.
Yeah. Stunning.
Yeah.
Word.
Yeah. She's got gorgeous eyebrows. There's a guy, and I'm trying to think of who it is.
I always think Zendaya.
Love her. I think Audrey Hepburn.
Yeah.
She has like that really cool brow.
Yeah.
I wonder what her brow, like, is that her natural structure of her brow?
I think so. I think she was more of a straight brow, and they just kind of probably a few of them.
And then I'm thinking like Cindy Crawford. I think of like
80s fluffy brows.
Fluffy brows that wasn't in
Brooke
at
Shields,
the time.
yeah.
Brooke Shields, that's what I was thinking of. Yeah. When that wasn't in necessarily, and everyone's like, your brows are really I think that's who I think of when I think
I
of
saw
like, iconic brows.
Like a clip for a documentary. I think it's on Kevin Akun. He created the really thin brow. I think it was Cindy Crawford. Like he like over tweezed her. He like did her brows, and then she was like freaking out because her brows were like, she had jobs and now they were like thin. And then all of a sudden though, she was getting hella booked after that. I just saw like a little clip of that and I was like,
that's funny.
I think this is when the moments of making a statement started to happen and the brows were being used, because like that's how bleach brow became a thing that was done. And I think a lot of the stuff
you guys do that
for trends. I would love to, but I haven't bleached anybody's nose.
I want to offer something like that, but I'm scared.
I want to do it in the way that it's not just straight up bleaching the brow.
I want to do like fashion
lighten
colors.
I want to lighten. I've thought about doing that, but I did a fashion color on myself and my brows like my skin responded really funky. I didn't use the proper stuff, so that's on me. But it also kind of freaked me out that those are made like slightly differently, that I was like, I know that they make like a specific brow line for fashion colors, but it kind of scares me because I just feel like there's more variables with like a more pigmented color than, because it's different than like color and developer.
Yeah.
They're a little bit different. I literally have vivid hair. I should know what this is, but it's like a different style of coloring that's not the same as the tint lines that we
Interesting.
use. But I want to do like the bleach, and then like they have darker brows, but they have lighter brown hair. You can like bleach it and then dye them a light brown. Like I think that's a fun way to like make it very specific. Because for so long we were like color match, which I love a perfect color match. But when they already have dark brows, I'm like, we're only going darker. I can't apply this brown and make it lighter. I think it's fun that we have the option for that, which is really funny that you said that, because the next question I was going to ask you guys is if there was a brow trend or treatment like that's popped up that you haven't tried that you want to try.
I kind of feel like I've done them all. No, maybe not. Because I did do microblading briefly. Yeah, I hated it. I loved it for like a minute and then I hated it. Let me just say this. I think to be a really phenomenal PMU artist, you have to basically focus on just doing that.
I
like
agree.
I just did not have that bandwidth at all. I was already busy with my own clientele. It made sense to me that I was like, oh, I'm really good at brow shaping. I can create a brow for my client. It's so different.
It's easy to get the stuff for and just people be like,
let
me just offer this now.
Well, even the training that I did that I spent a grip on, I will say, and you know, I'm still friends with one of the girls who I did it with, and I think she had a different experience than I did, but I didn't think it was that great of a training. And I was just like, not really, I don't know. I felt like you've 2 days of this training and then you're off to the wild.
And then you're
literally
just slicing and dicing.
Yeah.
The other thing that was crazy for me in that situation was that not even just the training. Well, first of all, like you just have your license and you can do it, but it's not even that. It's the fact that the state doesn't even care. Like our tattooing requirements were so minimal. They cared more about what my building looked like. But I was like, that has absolutely nothing to do with like bloodborne pathogens or
you do have to get your
skin.
bloodborne pathogen training done or whatever. Yeah.
But it doesn't have anything like super pertinent in it that I would feel like would make me a better tattooer. Like implanting pigment into people's skin that is so crazy. And
kind of makes you think twice about some of the tattoo artists out there.
1,000%. Going through that training, I was like kind of driving around like, how are you guys in business? That's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, I have lots of tattoos. I'm not really driven, but
yeah. No, I'm not worried about it. But
obviously we all do. But yeah, it was not for me. It was.
I think it's the fact that it's on the face.
No, yes, totally. And then I hated laminations for the longest time when they first became a thing. Let's just say though, in the very beginning, they were awful. Everybody was doing them straight up. It looked like everybody had been electrocuted.
Makes me cringe.
Yeah, it was just terrible. And so it wasn't until after COVID, I took more time off when after things opened back up again, just for personal reasons. And when I came back, I kind of was like, well, maybe, I don't know. It's chatted with a friend of mine who does brows here in town. My friend Vanessa, who you met at the show. Yeah, she was offering laminations already. And I was like, okay, your laminations look gorgeous. Like who trained you? What did you end up, I ended up doing like the online training with Brow Yonsei, which was awesome.
I did that training too.
Yeah, and it was great. And I think after that, I was like, okay. I remember too, my wife was like, another service. Are you sure? After the whole microblading fiasco where I dropped like $3,000 and training. And she was like, I said, yeah, but first of all, I made that money back eventually. I did offer microblading for a couple of years.
Yeah,
I did. And then after that, it wasn't until when COVID happened, I came back and decided to not do it anymore. Everything had expired. I would have to replace everything.
That's what was me with facials. I offered facials for literally 3 months. And then I was like, actually, never mind. Don't book it. I'm deleting it. Do you guys do lash lifts?
I don't do lash lifts.
Why?
Where am I going to fit the time to do? I'm not opposed. I'm not going to say I'll never do. Obviously, I said I never do laminations, and here I am. I
feel
love
like
them.
you would like it for the first year or so of me doing lash lift.
Yeah, see, that's I don't like.
No, I just felt like my chest was tight when I did it. I was panicking. No, but now
the best feeling.
I feel like you have a moment where you're like,
it clicks.
Everything.
Yeah.
I figured it out.
Yeah. I'm not opposed. I just right now I'm so busy with
My only reason to push you to do it would be just because you can do the laminations and the lash at the same time and make like twice as much, which is...
I can't do that.
Really?
I'll never do that.
It's my favorite.
This just in, I'll never do that. I
never say never.
saying because I'm documenting that because I probably will, but it makes me anxious.
Send it to you when you
like,
do.
Yeah, it makes
Now offering
so
combos with
freaking
Natalie.
Yeah, literally. This is in. She changed her mind. But I do feel like with my favorite service is just regular old wax.
Yeah?
Just
What's
a
your
regular
favorite?
wax.
Laminations, because they're so satisfying, but honestly, a brow rehab and like a brow that's maybe so close to it being perfection and then like styling them afterward and then being like, holy shit, that's my favorite.
Actually, I love a hybrid tint.
I hate hybrid tint.
Oh.
I hate it.
just
It's
in.
my least favorite.
Oh my god.
I hate it. I'm saying it. They're my least favorite thing. I prefer a regular tint over a hybrid tint any day. Any day. Any day.
I'm leaving.
I only offer hybrid tint. I don't offer offer a regular tint.
What the hell?
I finally just
What?
Well, one,
Why? What?
This just in.
For what? This just in. She's wrong.
No, I think this is actually really cute because I think that this is kind of showing our different demographics. I live in a small town. The hybrid tint is not it. People hate it. They don't like the look of it. They think
I live in the big
bold.
city.
Yeah.
I live in the big city.
I don't even think I live in an ag town surrounded by orchards.
I'm literally in the midst of both. I'm like ag and big city.
You are.
No,
But
I'm in Midtown, or I'm in Oak Park, but that's a section of Midtown. People are like, give me a dark brow.
Yeah, no, I'm a hair pearl stan.
I'm a hair pearl stan as well. I'm using hair pearl every day, but I'm trying to try Brow Daddy.
Okay, what are you currently using for hybrid?
Bronson, and I
Really?
just keep ordering it. I haven't tried
gel,
Brow Daddy.
The new formula?
Yeah.
That's crazy. When the new formula came out,
we talked about it. We talked about it because the new formula is so much better. You're so wrong.
Really? That's hilarious because I talked to
I love hearing when people are wrong.
So many people that have the exact opposite opinion.
I don't understand.
I think I talked to
I know.
some big names in it too. I'm trying to think. I don't feel like because Browducation is where I heard of hair pearl, but I feel like I talked to her about hybrid and the Bronson switch.
I hated the old formula.
Really, I didn't like it either. I didn't really care for it, but I hated Bronson, the old formula, and then I heard mixed feelings about the new formula. So I was like, if I don't even like it, I do want to try Brow Daddy. There's no reason to try it. I do want to try Brow Daddy.
No, I use Brow Code and I love it. And one thing I've learned is I don't want what's that?
Use their hybrid.
The hybrid, yes. I used to switch up brands all the time, and I'm like, I don't need to do that anymore. I don't need to do that. It's fun to try new things, but I also like if it's working for me and I love it, like why am I going to play around? Because a lot of them are going to have a lot of similarities anyway, and I get great results with Brow Code. I love it.
I'm gonna have to try it. I've never tried it.
It's literally if it's not broke, don't fix it. I feel the same way, and I feel like there's so much good marketing because we're in an industry that needs to be good at marketing, and I think people jump. I have a post waiting in my Canva to post about like what to invest in and what not to. And I try to tell new people all the time, like, stop buying a bunch of products unless you're not happy. I've jumped around from hybrid to hybrid because I just don't like them. And I've never been super happy with the line. I'm using Aqua Drops right now and I like it 50%.
Have you tried anything Australian?
Yeah. But I'm also a henna hater. So I won't use anything with henna in it. Yeah.
This just said we hate henna.
We hate henna.
Something but I can agree on.
I love lamination, so I can't I don't want anything to conflict with
that. Anything where I have to think about anything conflicting
or causing their hairs to melt.
Yeah,
I'm not trying to think that. But actually, it's really funny. I didn't have anything negative to say about henna until I was literally laminating a hairdresser's brows, and she was like, "I wouldn't touch it with a 10-foot pole," and I was like, "Tell me everything." And then I was like, "Okay, I agree."
It's not good for your hair.
Yeah, it's horrible. Well, and it deposits so deep that it's just there forever.
And hybrid is technically a henna combo with a regular dye, but it's a different formula.
My mom we used to like henna my hair when I was like young, and I probably still have henna. It's probably why my hair, like my natural color, is now a little bit red.
Yeah.
But no, I mean I love a hybrid too.
I love a hybrid.
Like you can get your tinted look with a hybrid instead of like stamping it.
It depends on someone's skin.
True. Sure. Yeah.
With like how good the hybrid is too.
See, I think the biggest thing is that hair pearl deposits such a beautiful, soft, like halo that I expect too much of a hybrid. Because I can get that with a basic tint. When I'm going to do a hybrid tint, I want it to be bold and deep and dark and last forever. I think that my expectations of the hybrid are different.
Okay, that's you.
That's fine.
The
I will take that.
Yeah, I agree.
I genuinely don't like it. But also, let's normalize not liking services and not doing services if we don't like them. Because if you don't like it, you're never going to be super happy with it. Your clients are never going to be super happy with it. And it's kind of like attracting, like we were talking about, attracting the right people. Like we have to also do the right services.
I did see someone post recently. They were like, I'm not doing lash lifts anymore. They're bad for my mental health. And thank you for being fucking for real with me.
That's why I dabbled in lash extensions a few times over my career. And I was like,
I did 2 trainings.
And I can't do it. That's one of those that I would have.
I never did them.
If you were to look at my old photos and find some of the lashes I did, laughable. My sweet clients, they just love me so much because I mean, they were just little sparse little lashes. They were just like probably would have blown off in the wind.
Yeah.
Like, I'm so sorry, sweet babies. They're not good.
No, and we charged money for that.
Well,
we charged money for that.
Yeah.
I never even got to the point where I was ordering supplies. I took the trainings and said, yeah, never mind.
I think I did order a few supplies. I also get like supply happy, like how you were saying. And I think a big part of it is because I've been doing this so long, there weren't a lot of brands out. There wasn't a lot of product. It is like now there's so many and it's so exciting. Although I really wish that we had better access. I would love somebody please do like a Bella.
I still order from Bella Beauty.
I do too, but I would love it if somebody did it here because
Bronson's US website has like different brands. I ordered from them.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Because they carry Naomi.
I think it's Noemi.
I just ordered their stuff to do Korean lash lifts. I've been doing that.
Okay, I want to know the tea on the Korean lash.
I just think it's better and makes more sense.
Okay, what is the difference for me and just like people listening? What is the difference between a regular lash lift and a Korean lash lift?
It all has to be cysteamine based. So if you're using a system, which like Elibana has 2 different types of lash lift formulas. Mm-hmm. They have the one shot and then they have the regular Profusion. Profusion is cysteamine based. One shot is thioglycolate. Browdown is thioglycolate, so it would not be conducive with the Korean lash lift.
And that's because you're so good at pronouncing that just now. Like,
thank you so much. Everything has to be cysteamine based with Korean lash lifts because you want to get that product to the tip.
Exactly.
And you cannot do that with like thioglycolate. I just think of Legally Blonde. So I also just did thioglycolate solutions for a bit, and everyone's different, and more advanced lash lift artists probably have way better experiences with one shot. I just thought it was too quick.
I hear that a lot.
You have to be so quick. I'm not that fast. I just need a breath.
That's interesting because I think that's also brand based because I use one that's thioglycolic.
No, one shot is extremely
it's just their
hard
processing time,
and everybody's different. Some people love one shot and have really good results. My clients even say like, my lashes feel so much better since you switch because I talk about it. I'll be like, so I'm switching to something else and let's see how you do. Mm-hmm. So with the Korean lash lift, basically, if you already use a cysteamine based lash solution, all you need is the pads.
The
flat pads, which I think I got mine from the Lash House, Uli, yeah. I think that's
the beauty house.
Yeah, beauty house
shop. Yeah.
So I ordered from her.
I love that brand.
And then I ordered the Naomi Gooey. It's called Gooey. It's basically crystals that thicken up your steps.
Ruth Belly has it too.
It's all glueless. You're coating the lashes in step 1 with the thickener in it. It's breaking down. It's much more similar to like the steps of a lamination for your brows. Like you're putting the product on. You're messily putting the product on, you're letting it sit, and then you're combing through. Like it's much closer to that.
I think the biggest thing is what lamination is now, because when we got started with lamination, when it first came out, everything was sold with an adhesive.
Yeah.
You had to glue the brows down and apply this, because I was the first one in my time to offer brow lamination.
With it.
They had an adhesive. Yeah. And so I think this is going to be a game changer for people offering lash lifts who hate lash lifts, because I think the issue is the glue, it's the adhesive and the balm getting in the way of the solutions penetrating. And I think that's the big problem.
No, and you have to like separate each fucking lash from the bottom to the top. Like I'm hyperventilating like over their face.
That's one of my favorite parts of a lash lift, just getting it on the rod perfectly.
No, I hate that. And I'm panicking over them. I'm like, it's taking so long. They're anxious. And
that's how I felt when I was first doing it.
So yeah, it's so much simpler.